Hey everybody, today I'll be using the Amrezy palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I already have my face primed with the Tarte Poreless Mattifying Primer, and I put my foundation on, which is Fenty Beauty, the Pro Filtr foundation in shade 290. And I take my beauty blender and just kind of blend away, make sure everything is completely covered. And then I take my Fenty Beauty matchsticks in the shade Mocha, and I just kind of carve out a little bit of cheekbones, add some to my forehead. I am half Korean, so I wasn't blessed with the best cheekbones and the best shape, so I just kind of give myself a little shape using my matchstick, carving out my nose. Then I take my beauty blender and I blend away until you don't see any harsh lines. Even if your arm gets tired, you definitely want to blend as much as you can. And have you ever realized whenever you put makeup on, sometimes your lips kind of poke out weird? I tried my hardest not to do that, but I was like, screw it. It's too hard to blend and keep your lip in a pretty normal position. And as you can see, I am still blending, blend. You could get a little arm workout doing that. Can't forget the neck area. And then I am using my Huda Beauty Overachiever concealer. I really like this concealer. I'm using Cotton Candy in 8B. I really like it. You have to be very light-handed because a little goes a very long way. It's super high coverage. And I like the metal tip because it kind of has a cooling effect when you do put it under your eyes. I placed it under my eyes, below my nose, and on my chin. I'm taking my beauty blender, and once again I'm blending away until everything is pretty smooth and you don't see any harsh lines. Keep blending. And sometimes if I have a hard time getting in my inner corners, I'll either try to look up or to the side and really get that the corner of the beauty blender in the corner of my eyes. And then sometimes, like if you don't have like for me, I feel like my chin is pretty small. If you put a brighter, lighter color, it kind of gives you the illusion that there's more. So I like to put some on my chin just for that right there. And I make sure I carry it out into the rest of my foundation. Once I'm done with that, I take my Mercier translucent setting powder. I don't bake under my eyes because I'm almost 35 and I have lots of fine lines and wrinkles, and I feel like baking kind of just accentuates those wrinkles, and I don't want that. I want everything to look as smooth as possible. And then I'm gonna take my Too Faced chocolate soleil powder and just kind of sculpt out my cheekbones, add a little bit of sun to my forehead, and as I apply, I do try to make sure I get into the hairline a little bit so you don't see a super white scalp. Blend, and once again my lip is shaped weird. Can't forget the neck area. Get rid of that double chin. And then I take like a eyeshadow blending brush and kind of sculpt my nose out. And then I'm using my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in the shade Kisses. I always feel like blush kind of ties everything together, so I never skip this step. Yay, now we're going into the palette. And I'm using the shade New Yorker, if I'm even saying it right. And then I'm taking my eyeshadow blending brush. I'm just using a big blending brush. I really don't know which one this is. I got it in my Ipsy Glam bag and it's been my favorite ever since. And I'm just kind of taking light sweeping movements over the crease. And I'm going higher up above the crease because that's gonna be my blending color and that's gonna kind of tie everything together. So I'm using a combination of like light circular motions and back and forth windshield wiper motions. And you want to be very light-handed with this color because every single shade in this palette is very pigmented. So if you go a little too heavy, you're gonna have a hard time blending that line out. Now I'm going into the shade 1988 and I'm using a skinnier blending brush. It's slightly tapered so it allows me to get into the crease pretty good. I really don't have a deep crease in my eyes, so I like to use darker colors to kind of give it the illusion that I have somewhat of a crease. And I just kind of start off putting two simple lines, and then you'll see we're gonna work that all out. Kind of make it as even as you can. Symmetry is very important with makeup, even though sometimes I can't nail it. And then I'm taking the brush and lightly fanning it up. Kind of give myself a little eye lift. Anytime you drag your colors down, it's gonna make your eyes look like it's drugged down. Now I'm taking that blending brush that I used before, and I'm not adding any extra colors. I am going in and kind of smoothing out the line, going back and forth, kind of using circular motions and then the windshield wiper motions. Then I'm going back in with the skinnier brush and I'm trying to diffuse any harsh lines out. So I'm going into the crease and using circular motions to kind of buff out any straight lines. Then I'm going back with the first blending brush and just smoothing out any harsh lines that I see. It's kind of the finishing touch. And then I'm going in the shade Anastasia, and with the flat eyeshadow brush, I want to start in the middle of my lids and just pat to the outer corners of my eyes, and then kind of go into my inner corners, but not all the way. And I just keep patting until I see enough color on the lids. Now I'm taking some concealer and a flat eyeshadow brush and carving out the inner corners of my lids. And take your time doing this, because if you mess this up, you mess everything up. I want to make sure everything is very symmetrical, so sometimes you have to take a step back and look at both eyelids and make sure that they're pretty even. And you just want to do the inner corners. It's kind of like a cut crease, but a partial cut crease since we're just doing the inner corners. And once you get to the middle, you kind of fan out, and you can use your finger to kind of blend the concealer into the rest of the eyeshadow. Now I'm taking the same flat eyeshadow brush and using the color Barb and just pressing and patting the color onto the concealer, not going outside of the concealer lines, and making sure we cover everything up. And sometimes if you feel like it's a little clumpy, you can use a little bit of a sweeping motion, but I'm using mostly patting motions just to make sure everything's really pigmented. Now I'm using my L'Oreal Jumbo eyeliner marker pen. I'm not sure what the exact name of it. I've had it for a while. I'm not going to focus too much on a very intricate winged liner. I'm just going to do my outer corners. I don't have lashes, or else I would have definitely focused on my wings a lot more. I'm quarantined, so I'm not going to go to the store to get me some lashes. And I'm only going to do the outer corners because later on we're going to take a darker eyeshadow and just kind of blend that in together. And now I'm going to take my eyeliner smudging brush into the shade Yugo and work at the inner lash line and just kind of blend that into the eyeliner that I had put on my outer corners. Now I'm going in my waterline using the NYX eye pencil in the shade White. I prefer to use white on my waterline because I feel like it brightens your eyes up and it makes you look more awake. Dark sometimes makes me look a little tired. Now with the same smudge brush with no more products added, do the outer corners of your bottom lash line. and going in the inner corners of your bottom lash line with barb. My favorite part, I am now highlighting my cheekbones, my nose, and my cupid bow on my lip. And I'm using a highlighter that I got in my Ipsy Glam bag. It is by Ofra. I don't know if you say Ofra or Ofra. And then I'm doing my brow bone just to kind of make my eyeshadow pop. My cupid's bow, I feel like when you do that part, it makes your lips look a little bit more full. Adding highlighter to the tip of my nose and to the bridge of my nose. I have a very round nose, so sometimes when I put highlighter on the tip and on the sides and on the bridge, I feel like it sculpts my nose out just a little bit more. Taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I like to use waterproof. And I am getting into my lash line, and I'm making sure I get all the way down to the very base of my lid and just kind of combing it up. I always do 2 coats to make everything look pretty full. Now I'm taking my NYX lip liner pencil in the shade Natural, and I'm just lining my lips. I really don't need to overline because these lips are pretty full. Don't want them too big. Then I'm going in with my melted latex lipstick by Too Faced in the shade Peekaboo. And I am covering most of my lips, but I don't want to go into the lip liner because I don't want the color to cover it. So I just kind of carefully put it on my lips without overlapping the lip liner. And then you want to do this weird, crazy lip kissing smudge thing so you get everything kind of blended together without overlapping each other. You can tell I'm kind of feeling the makeup already. Now I'm taking my melted latex lip color in the shade Safe Word, and I am putting it on the very center of my lips, and then I'm just kind of doing that weird lip thing again. And this is my final makeup look. Hope you guys enjoyed, and give your girl a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you think. Stay beautiful and always stay true to yourself. Bye everybody, peace.